Okay, so just ignore the computer. Ignore this. It's not doing much. And then you advance the slides on this. Okay, so this monitor is extended. So right now the mouse is on the slides. So you can
I just
advance
click the
them.
mouse.
Yeah, with the space bar.
Okay.
All right. What's up, everyone? Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. I definitely wasn't expecting this, but I guess when you offer everyone $50, this is what happens. So I'm really happy to have all of you here and be participating in this FTX trading challenge, which I'm guessing is why most of you are here. If we could just do like a little show of hands right now. I just want to like gauge the interest and level of where everyone's at with crypto. So if you own crypto, could you raise your hand right now? All right, just about everyone. If you have like a MetaMask setup that you use, could you raise your hand? All right, once again, we got everyone here. All right, so if you, let's see. If you make trades like at least once a week, would you raise your hand? Okay. All right, cool. So today we're going to be talking about trading. Try clicking it. All right, and the reason we're talking about trading is because of the trading challenge. So this challenge begins tonight. As most of you hopefully already know, if you read the docs with all the rules in it. And everyone will be getting $50 dropped into their FTX account that you put on the sheet at some point tonight. I believe it is what they told me earlier when I was on the phone with them. And what you'll have to do is send that money to your sub account, which you guys all know about the sub accounts. You got it all set up. If there's anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about with the sub account, can you raise your hand? Okay, so are you in the group me?
Yes.
So there's a doc with all the information on the group
Sub account?
Basically, yeah. Once you have your FTX account set up, you need to create like a sub account, and that's how the trading challenge will be run. So they'll drop $50 into your main account. You move it over to the sub account, and then from there you are like officially entered to participate in the competition, and you can start trading immediately. So we can start making trades tonight. So because of that, I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on trading. I honestly don't do a whole lot of it, especially short-term trading. But this challenge is 2 months long. It's 8 weeks. So we'll have time to make plays that are a little bit more fundamental and not just doing technical analysis. So yeah, if you can go to the next slide. So we have 31 participants now, which is absolutely awesome. Definitely blew my expectations out of the water. So round of applause for everyone. There we go. All right, so I was talking to the FTX guys earlier. They said there's about 500 kids across the country participating in this challenge, and there will be prizes for the top trader amongst the 500, and we will also be competing with each other for the top prize for each club. So, maybe don't give away all of your best ideas. Maybe you should have saved that till the end. All right, so because this is trading, I just wanted to start with like technical analysis. If you are familiar with technical analysis to at least maybe like a 3 out of 5 level, would you raise your hand? All right, cool. If you have no clue what technical analysis is, could you raise your hand? It's completely fine. That's what this is all about. All right, cool.
Does anybody have crypto picks based on technical analysis that they want to share? Any current plays? Okay, we have a couple coming up, but what's your hand?
Head and shoulders pattern for like the freaky.
So that's bearish,
like,
right?
The next resistance. Apparently, the next resistance is going to hit like will signify like an altcoin like bear or bull run. So. That's like what I saw recently.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so long story short, technical analysis is basically looking at patterns on the charts to kind of determine when something might be ready to move up or move down, or whether or not it's going to go sideways for a while. There are a bunch of tools, technical analysis tools, that we can use to get in and out at the right time, or as close to the right time as possible, right? So if you want to go to the next slide, and then also we'll just have to pull up a trading view. All right, so we'll pull up the charts here, and then after we talk about our picks, hopefully you guys will be willing to come up and give us some of your picks as well. So I'll just pop over to CoinMarketCap. Well, I should probably do trading view, yeah?
Probably.
Yeah. All right, you want to, I'll take the slides. You want to take the explanations?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I didn't have any picks for technical analysis. I'm not a technical analysis trader. So I just said whatever breaks new all-time highs, I'm going to look for some momentum. I'm thinking about splitting my account into half technical analysis to try this, because when things go in price discovery, a lot of times they shoot up like 100%, right? So that's my high-level strategy for technical analysis. I know it's kind of boring. There's no crypto picks. I do agree with Logan on Doge. I think it might be a little undervalued right now because of Shiba. I'm not sure if I'm going to be trading Doge for this competition, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so basically what we're looking at here are the daily candles. Do you want to like point stuff out? That'd be awesome if you could.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So right now we're looking at the daily candles. Raise your hand if you'd like an explanation on how candlestick charts work. Nobody? Everybody knows exactly how candlestick charts work. Hey,
I
man.
was gonna say something. Maybe you could like go to like Google and notice, and like there's like a pretty solid. If you just look up like if you just look up topic, like there's like different candlesticks and like what they signify. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's definitely a bunch of stuff online. But just to make sure everyone's on the same page, these are the daily candles. So wait, here, there we are. Okay, so if it's green candle, the bottom represents the open, and the top represents where it closed. Obviously, it's the inverse. If it ends lower, then it will be a red candle, and the close will be at the bottom. These wicks are where trading goes to within that time frame. But the candle, the main portion of the candle, the dark part, signifies the open, the change between the open and the close, and also where the next candle is going to start. So if we take a zoomed out look here, we could see the daily candles from Doge all the way from the SNL night earlier this year. Have any of you guys been making plays on Doge? Personally, I'm not too interested in it just because it's kind of boring, but I do think that it's primed for takeoff right now, because all the hype has been on Shiba Inu, and Doge is kind of the OG. I feel like it's not gonna kind of give up so easily. And so I expect the Doge army to fight back pretty soon here, and that's why I selected that as one of my picks. I also picked Sushi for technicals. This one's also pretty fundamental.
I chose it as a fundamental pick.
Oh, nice. So we see most of the DeFi blue chips have yet to really take off in this leg of the market cycle. We've seen like a lot of coins hit new all-time highs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, but not the DeFi blue chips. They've basically just been chilling like almost completely sideways for the past month and a half, almost 2 months. And we're seeing like a little bit of a breakout here now. So I'm definitely bullish on this. I think that the DeFi blue chips will probably, kind of break their previous all-time highs, ideally by the end of the year and in the same time frame as our trading challenge. So that's probably what I'm going to be mostly looking at and allocating towards.
I think there is a big trend on metaverse cryptocurrencies right now. If you've been following like Decentraland or the Sandbox, they're up like 200-300%, mostly because of Facebook's rebrand, right? So I look at those two.
Yeah.
I think a lot of DeFi platforms also are really popular right now. So like Polkadot, Avalanche, those types of coins. That's kind of where we see the second half of the bull market take us. Not really with these DeFi tokens, but I do think they'll perform well over the next few months. I'll probably be trading sushi as part of this competition.
Yep. And then, yeah, this is what the Decentraland token. Okay, so now I'm going to toss it out to you guys. Who has a technical pick that you want me to pull up?
Polygon, doesn't matter.
What's your name, man?
Aiden.
Aiden?
Yeah.
Aiden wants Polygon. What the MDAO is 100% invested in right now. By the way, I think we're up like 80% so far in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the MDAO, so that's pretty good.
Is it all
Matic right now, yeah. I think I'm gonna make a proposal to accept wrapped Bitcoin, and then we can allocate maybe 20-30% to that.
Yeah.
But Ben Goldberg's gonna work on getting minions and stuff, so we don't have to trust people to take funds out and manage it. So
I also think we should work on getting a group bridge going soon.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah, no, I still have the funds from the last group bridge. I
I
was
was do that at the end of the meeting as long as we have time.
I was about to get the sponsorship money, and I was going to do it all together. So I still have it. It's not too late to get in on that. Okay, so we see Matic was in this downtrend over the past week. I switched over to the hourly candles, and you can kind of see it broke out, and then it held right around here. And usually after holding a breakout, coins will rip. And this is a prime example of that. So
Kind of
here,
like it's sideways coming in. If you look at it, it's kind of leans a little bit more towards bearish.
what you talking about? What?
Like if you're looking at like the cup and handle, like you see like it
Yeah.
bends down, and
Here,
you have the neckline,
here.
which is the blue line you draw out.
Uh-huh.
The handle is a little right, and I mean if it hasn't been falling, you could see it
Let's see.
potentially break out, but a
Yeah.
lot of times that moves towards something bearish, but I don't know.
You're saying cup and handle is bearish?
Yeah, in this sense, like it can be bearish depending on where it gets.
Yeah.
Like, on the volume that it breaks out with.
Interesting. Ryan, what's that thing you always say about cup and handle?
It's about head and shoulders, actually.
Oh, damn. Okay, we'll get there then. All right, yeah. So no, I like Matic right now from a technical perspective for sure.
No, I do too. I was just saying that. That's something to keep in mind.
Totally.
Right. And now is probably a good time to say that all indicators are wrong, but some are helpful. All right. Any other picks?
I'm not gonna be part of the competition, so I'll feel bad.
Could you say your name first as well?
No.
Okay. What you got, Noah?
Floki Inu.
Floki Inu.
One of my favorite cryptocurrencies.
What do you think of Akita?
Haven't but this.
What about baby Floki Ada Inu?
Does it have any utility whatsoever?
So like, we're not.
Their metaverse VR game that's in development.
Is it Shiba? Or is it?
Well,
Shiba
Shiba has Shiba swap. It's not like it's innovative.
That's just a small.
It's just a deck.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
What's
Yeah.
the market cap of
Sushi swap, I think. What's sushi swap? It's 2 billion now, probably.
What I
2 billion.
like
Pancake swap is small.
so small. I'll get to that.
I'm not sure what the market cap is.
All right. So what are you guys thinking about the Floki chart right here?
I think it's bullish.
Is that, this all happened last week? What is it level at?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, the 27th. Shut up. Floki isn't on FTX though. We only have exposure to Shiba and Doge. And actual cryptocurrencies, but also Shiba and Doge.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So Floki's already been on a bit of a run. Do you have any like reason for why you picked it? Okay. You just think it could be like the next Next big dog coin. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, do you think Shiba has to go up for Floki too? Because I do, and I think Shiba's pretty close to a top, being at like a $50 billion valuation.
It's probably close to top, you know. But give it another month. And how long is the competition going to be?
Until
It's
the
8
end of
weeks.
December.
8? Yeah, okay. And maybe we need a tail end. Like second.
We need one person to just, or like 2 people to just put their whole 50 into 2 like promising things.
All right. Whose pick was this, Jonathan?
Yeah, that was mine.
All right. Can you explain why?
So like recently there's like a vulnerability in
Compound?
I can't confirm this, but I don't know if you guys saw, but like the world's most expensive like NFT purchase ever was like a crypto pump for like
Yeah.
how much was it? Like
$500 million.
Yeah, 500 million. And I think they were like able to do it as a result of like Aave did some like X sushi like vulnerability or something.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it a vulnerability. It was more of a publicity stunt than anything. But basically what they did is they took out a flash loan, which is a loan that you can get with zero collateral up to $500 million as long as you return it within the same block. Okay, so you have to basically write a piece of code that will do whatever you want in between, and you borrow the money, you give it back within the same block. So effectively, you can use it without anything truly like changing hands. So this guy got a flash loan, bought the punk from himself for $500 million, which is going to be really fun for his tax guy to figure out. And then, you know, it obviously made a lot of headlines because that's a lot of money. But it's cool because there were like a bunch of normies that were like, who gives out a $500,000 loan, even if it's for just a second? And so they kind of realized the power of smart contracts and Ethereum through that. So homie took one for the team with his taxes there.
Yeah.
What the price
Yeah,
is.
just real quick, what I was saying is that like there's like this vulnerability in like one of their like lending. So like people like the price of it like just went down, and I feel like it just undervalued as a result of this one vulnerability. Like that guy Justin's son. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know who he is.
Tron guy?
The Tron
Yeah,
guy.
like, he took $4 billion out of Aave as a result of this vulnerability, and I think it like scared people like short term to like invest in it. I think long term, like it's gonna be like the most powerful DeFi token.
Yeah. So, no, I definitely agree with you from a fundamental perspective. Yeah, we'll get more into the fundamental picks later. But any other technical picks that you guys have your eyes on?
Not, I mean, it's not as technical, but Flow blockchain is like the creators behind
Top Shot.
Dapper Labs and NBA Top Shot. They
Yeah.
deal with that as well. And like the Cricket League and another soccer league. So like I feel like their blockchain and at least the transactions on the chain are going to take off in the coming couple months and actually have like use case within like the sports market, which I think is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Someone from Dapper Labs is speaking on campus
Here?
tomorrow, Friday.
Could you drop some info in the group me about that?
Alexa's actually.
I'm not sure how accessible it is for everyone. It's-
Oh, really?
Is it a Boston?
Oh, shit. I talked to her about that earlier. Yeah. I'll hit her up.
You wanna, like, go to the-
It's called MSP Solomon.
Oh, they're speaking at that conference. Do you know who?
It's like head of community.
Yeah, so Flow definitely does look like a good opportunity right now. Flow is like an NFT blockchain that's created by Dapper Labs, used by NBA Top Shot, and a lot of other platforms to have the scalability and like the on-chain asset storage without having the gas fees of Ethereum. I definitely like Flow as a long-term pick and a short-term. All right, any other? I don't know why I keep using my laptop keyboard. I think I would figure it out by now. Any other picks? I guess I don't need this. Avex. All right, so Avex is a scaling solution for Ethereum. Technically, it's like a layer 1, but I think it's EVM compatible, so most people just use it to scale ETH products. And yeah, we saw that all-time high and it looks like it's going for another one. So Ryan, on your slide, you put whatever breaks all-time highs. So why don't you apply that to this one for us?
Okay, I guess this one's not that good of an example, right? Because we got up to like $60 back in May, and then we hit it again maybe in September, and then we went up, but we still had some good gains, like 20%. So I mean, that would be a play I might make when this is an all-time high at like 75, maybe $80.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the market cap of Avex? It's in the top 10, right?
I don't think so.
It's
Top
close.
20 for
It's
sure.
like
It is top 20.
14
What is
mil.
it?
It's just outside.
Avalanche.
Yeah.
14 mil.
14. I just Googled it. It said 14 mil.
I can't believe Sheev is like one of those top.
What other plays are there like Avax that are still around that market range?
No, you're not the. Oh, it was. Yeah.
Do you think we could get a good play?
What's that, Ryan?
One of you guys give your take on what the factors will be to like establish if a blockchain like Avex or Polygon or Solana will like, gain more dominance going forward?
Yeah.
Or, people will build on it.
I don't know if you were there for the second lecture. It was the blockchain trilemma. And basically, I talked about how when designing a blockchain, you have to choose between scalability and decentralization. The more data you let in each block, the faster it's going to end up only being able to be stored in data centers, right? So it really depends. Like most blockchains are designed for specific applications these days. So go check out that lecture, and then you should have a pretty good idea.
I'd say the total value locked is also a good indicator of adoption, usage, and liquidity. So look at that.
Yeah.
Also, just like the number of developers, like if you hear people talking about it, hear people using it. Like I like Solana because they already have NFTs and they have DEXs. Same with Binance Smart Chain, but then you go over to some of these other platforms, they don't really have that infrastructure yet. Because it's really a race for infrastructure at this point.
Yeah.
And like I see all the proof of stake blockchains as basically competing with each other.
Holy shit.
It's kind of its own thing at this point, but it's more of like a race to see if they can beat ETH before it transitions to proof of stake, in my opinion.
Yeah, ecosystem and TVL is very important, as exhibited by Solana flipping Cardano in the past day. I mean, Cardano was sitting at the number 4 spot for all of the summer, despite nothing happening on chain, whereas Solana was just exploding. And you can see it's really paying off now. It hit all-time highs like a couple of days ago, and it does not look like it's slowing down.
We saw the same thing with Binance Coin too, right? Because Binance Coin's been around for a long time, but its ecosystem hasn't. And then once the Pancake swap price came around with all the Binance Smart Chain tokens and saved them like in May, that's when Binance Smart Chain really blew up and the coin exploded.
Yeah.
Ben, did you have something?
Yeah, I was saying like what's your projection on Ethereum chain and proof of stake?
ETH2?
Yeah, it's been getting pushed back and pushed back.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps getting pushed back, and Ethereum's wanted to be proof of stake essentially since conception. But I think it'll happen next spring. The last time I heard from a developer, and by that I mean watched a YouTube video with ETH developers talking about ETH2, which was a few months ago. They said most likely scenarios like March, April. So that's what I'm expecting. But it could get pushed back probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I also know some people who think that ETH will never change to proof of stake because proof of work is just inherently more secure. I mean, like Bitcoin will never change to proof of stake, right? That'd be dumb.
I think that's arguable though. I don't think we know
Of course
if
it
proof
is.
of stake is more or less secure than proof of work completely.
Yeah, it's arguable.
Oh, we could get into that later. Okay, so on the other side, there's fundamental analysis, which is where you evaluate the technology and how well this product could fit in the market or serve the market in the next, whatever your time frame is, be it 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. The majority of my investing is done from a fundamental perspective, meaning that that's my barrier to entry. So obviously I look for good levels to get in and do a lot of technical analysis as well. But if it's a dog coin, it doesn't pass my fundamental test, right? Or at least I'm not going to put more than $20 in it as a joke. So from a fundamental perspective and also a technical perspective, kind of getting the best of both right now, I'd like to highlight Link, Chainlink, and Curve. So Chainlink is going to end up being likely the biggest cross-chain bridge in existence, maybe other than like Polkadot, but I mean, they're going to integrate Chainlink as well. So just very bullish, like from a technological standpoint, on the future of Link. And it kind of doesn't react with the rest of the market. It's kind of acting like most of the other DeFi blue chips right now that are just waiting for their turn. When ETH cools off, which I think ETH will probably rip to like 48 to 5K and then cool off for a while, then we'll see these coins really get their time to shine. So are you guys familiar with Chainlink, like what it does, what it's all about? Would anyone like to like talk about the fundamentals of it? All right.
Want to give a high-level overview, maybe?
Yeah, so it's a decentralized Oracle network, and an Oracle is a computer science term, which basically means you give it a question and it gives you the correct answer. Getting a reliable Oracle is very hard to do, especially for, really hard questions like what was the rainfall in Northern California from December to January, right? So you basically have to ask someone and trust that they're not bullshitting you. Or you can decentralize the process, ask 20 people, and then find consensus. So that way you can get the most accurate and most likely to be true, Oracle result. And so a decentralized Oracle network is like Chainlink will end up, providing real world data for on-chain transactions. So if you wanted to, so say you're a farmer, right? You obviously have drought insurance because if there's a drought, you'll lose all your money for the year. So you buy insurance against that, right? And what you could do this with a smart contract using Chainlink's Oracle information. So, Chainlink says, oh, there was, 50% less rain than there was last year, which triggers the insurance payout. It all happens automatically. So that's like one very obscure application of what Oracle data could do. But like another really good one is really simple, is just the exchange rate between any crypto asset and the US dollar. So right now we see it in other ERC20s like Tether, USDC. But if you want that pure USD exchange rate, you're going to need to ask like a big crypto exchange, right? And so then there's the centralization of the information. So decentralizing the Oracle process for price is a pretty big one as well. Vitalik wrote a blog post earlier this year telling Uniswap that they should also launch an Oracle product strictly for the price of the US dollar. We'll see if they end up doing it or not. All right, the other one I picked out was Curve. Curve's TVL is ridiculously high, and they're like barely inside the top 100 cryptos, which is very, very sad. But it won't be that way for long, I suspect. So Curve is one of the few blue chip DeFi tokens that has taken off already, and I suspect because it was so undervalued for so long. But I'm still very bullish on this. I mean, we saw it like rip, cooling off a little bit. Maybe we could do like a... Yeah, I don't know if that's a good example. But yeah, so I like Curve as well. What did you have, Ryan? Sushi and
Sushi,
Mana.
If we want to go over Decentraland first, since it's been ripping.
Yep.
So when I look at fundamental analysis, something I take into account is like the narrative behind the token. Of course, like I think Chainlink is a great project, but I think it's a little bit hard to understand, especially when a lot of retail is getting big right now. So I think Decentraland is like a very easy to understand and really cool narrative that it brings with it being like a virtual reality decentralized blockchain game. especially with the hype around NFTs, right? You can bring your NFTs into Decentraland. You can monetize land on Decentraland. I was just looking at Ben was showing me a casino on Decentraland where you could connect your MetaMask, go into the virtual world, and play in the casino. So like the possibilities are endless here, and I think the narrative like it spans really wide, I guess, right? It's something that is very speculative, as are all cryptocurrencies, but for that reason, I think it could really do very well, especially during the last half of the bull market. I think sushi, maybe not so much, but I still think it will do well. From a fundamental perspective, more similarly to Logan's. It started off, like we said before, as basically the same thing as Uniswap, and now they offer a ton of different products. And a good way to look at DeFi protocols is almost like Lego building blocks, because they can all interact with each other, and a lot of them are interoperable. So that's a big thing I like about SushiSwap is on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum, as well as like 10 different layer 2 solutions and a few other blockchains. So they're spanning themselves out really widely. They have a lending market, and they're actually implementing an NFT platform. I think it's either this week or next week. So that's my biggest thesis on Sushi right now, is that NFT platform. There's going to be some good benefits over OpenSea. So for big bidders that are locking up ETH into high value NFTs, they can actually earn yield on SushiSwap while those bids are live. So otherwise, like on OpenSea, you'd be locking it up and you can't do anything with that ETH. So I think like a lot of the big money will go over to Sushi for their NFT marketplace, because if they're putting 50 to 100 ETH bids, say on CryptoPunks, and they're locking up 500 ETH, they could be earning good money on that in the meantime while it's locked up. Otherwise, they also have a metaverse coming for Show You, which is their NFT platform. It looks really cool. There's mock-ups of it right now. Like I said, it hasn't released yet, but I think that will be a big driver in Sushi's price. Not only because I think it's cool and there's a lot of good benefits over OpenSea, but because the token will actually pay dividends from NFT sales. So Sushi actually already pays dividends. That's like one of the big differences between Uniswap and SushiSwap. You can actually stake Sushi for X Sushi right there on the website, and you get like 10% APR for doing that. And the way they pay you is, instead of the whole 0.3% fees on Uniswap that go to the people who provide liquidity, it's 0.25% go to those people who provide liquidity, and 0.05% go to the people that are staking their Sushi for dividends. John, I'll get to your question in just a second. But the royalties on NFTs are going to be 2.5%. And with the volume OpenSea does, if Sushi can get anywhere close to the volume OpenSea does, the dividend rate for Sushi should at least double to triple. I think that alone could really drive up the price. So I've been accumulating Sushi. I'll probably also be trading it in the FTX challenge. Jonathan, what's up?
So I saw that Logan went to like this, went to a website with like all the DeFi like just market caps, I think, and like DeFi pulse. So I was just wondering, like, because like I invest in Curve and Avax like pretty heavily, and I was just wondering like why like Sushi and Uni, like while they might be like the superior, like in my opinion, I think they're superior to Avax and Curve, like as we speak. But like, why is there less money being locked into it? Like, this one?
That's a really tough question. I don't think I can answer.
What'd you
There's
say?
a lot of variables. Why does Curve
Yeah,
and
why?
Aave have so much more TVL than Uniswap and Sushi, if Uni and Sushi seem like better products from a consumer perspective?
Probably mostly safer.
It's definitely safer.
Curve is like
And
all
Curve is
stable.
very interoperable between platforms too, right? Like Ethereum uses Curve, a lot of them.
Convex,
higher
huge upper
convicts, yeah.
There would be larger transactions for like DeFi marketplace versus like NFT swaps, or like trying to access markets through like kind of like gambling senses versus maybe larger institutions taking advantage of those API.
I
Yeah.
think total value locked is a good way to measure like liquidity and adoption, but it's not the best way to value a project, because you can almost think of it like the assets a company has. Like some companies can be very asset light and make a lot of profit, while others will have a lot of assets sitting around and not make as much profit. So I think that there's kind of a comparison to be made there. These programs do different things in different ways. They're not using that total value locked in their smart contracts in the same way.
Yeah, TVL is more of a metric of like adoption and like use case than, investment opportunity, right? So if sushi's product gets a lot better and their yield goes way up, you could expect to see a lot of the TVL flow into the protocol. Okay.
I wonder if NFTs will be considered as total value locked on sushi once they add Shoya.
Interesting. Yeah.
Probably not.
What's up?
Look up the Olympus down. Tell if you can make any sense of their percentage and why.
It's really complicated.
I've been trying to wrap my head around it with Jackson for about a week now.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense.
I mean, they own the protocol.
Oh, this is Ohm.
Yeah.
I don't think, but that's APY, so it's
So
not.
that's due to a time this year.
If you divided that by 365, you're not gonna get that number every day. Like, I think he's earning like 40, close to 30, 40.
Regardless, if you can get any of that number close.
Is it 30 to 40% a day?
8,000.
No,
That's
it's
kind
not.
of bonkers.
Like,
Yeah, there has to be a touch with that shit, right?
Joe. Blau, is that, wait, can you go back to that curve? Does that have anything to do with that graph thing you're talking about? Was that similar to the graph on the curve? What you said? Right there?
Actually, the own tokens are.
Okay, so a quick word on Ohm. I've not done a whole lot of research into it personally. From what other people tell me, it's like the people's shitcoin. It's definitely like sus. And if it seems too good to be true, it is. And this seems way too good to be true. So, I might like put a joking amount of money, like the same that I would put in Shiba in. But like, I don't know. It's kind of sus. I can look more into it and get back to you next week on it. But yeah, for now, I'd say
If it was safe, then
Be
the
careful.
industry would be longer because more people would be putting
yeah,
it in.
exactly.
I mean, it's like at 3.5 billion. Wow.
Do you think that's true though? Like, how is
I
that?
think that's.
Yeah, but Shiba has 40 billion, so
Is that true? Like, how do they like know?
what?
This was also accessible.
Like, how do we know if that number that they're putting there is like actually valid?
Oh, you don't.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
you really think there's $3.5 billion locked in this?
Well, you could look at the smart contract.
I know that's why
You can see that.
Yeah.
50 million came into that like overnight was like into the liquidity pool and now that poker centralized like gold 50 million got added to the liquidity pool. I didn't know that.
All right.
That's billion.
Who else has picks? Yeah, wait, what time is it? Oh fuck.
I have one that's like a little bit more fundamental, kind of based off like hype.
Yeah.
It's, this one called Hero. It's like one of the metaverse coins that hasn't really gone up with the hype. And I like saw someone who thought that.
Is it Meta Hero?
Yes, I believe so.
Is this with the? Is it?
Is it Beanie Maxi still?
I mean, no.
Organizing the metaverse.
There is some drama with Beanie in this project. I don't think this is it though. That's the CryptoPunks, the Punks comics.
Is that the one you were talking about though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
this
dropping books. Yeah.
Meta Hero.
Has already released.
Yeah.
The first edition of the comics released a while ago. And you could burn them for the DAO tokens.
Yeah.
It was a cool experiment.
Okay, so like 2 weeks ago,
Creates more demand.
we did a group bridge, or we started the process of a group bridge, and like 4 people sent me ETH and Polygon. That at some point I'm going to move to layer 2, but I'd like to offer anyone else who wants to get into the MDAO without having to pay the bridge fee, which is probably like $100 at this point, to get in on this, so you're not priced out immediately.
What was the bridge that was like $100 that we found?
That was it was not as good as it looked like. It was actually a cross chain DEX that had insane fee that would made it even more expensive. So if you guys gave me money 4 weeks ago and this is you now, I still have it, and I will move it over as soon as possible. But I'm not stealing your money, I promise. So I'm thinking we should talk about MDAO since there's a lot of people here. So if there's anyone who doesn't really know about the MDAO yet, can you raise your hand? Okay, cool. About the MDAO. If you don't know about it yet. I had one more slide on diversification and paper hands. Like personally, I'm gonna be trying to like limit my positions to like 4 or 5 maximum. I don't want to spread myself too thin because if something rips, I want to actually have enough exposure for it to matter. And also stick to your thesis. Okay, yeah. So maybe we could pull up DAO House. Ryan, can you? So for those of you guys who haven't heard about the MDAO, Ryan, could you just give a little overview of what we've done so far?
Yeah, so I think there's like 5 of us in it right now. We're shooting for 10 to 15 at least. We have around $800 in the MDAO right now. I think we started with right around 400 to 500. I know Logan, me, and Ben will be putting in the rest of our funds in the coming week here. The most you can put in for voting shares is 1,000 voting shares, which at the inception of the fund was $1,000. Now it's going to be more expensive. It'll probably be
$1,800.
$1,800 if you want the maximum amount of voting shares. But you can put as little as you want in. And the best way to do that is through that group bridge that Logan is doing. We're also going to try to get some sponsors. We already have a couple. So Benzinga is paying us to sponsor the club. And a portion of those funds, we're thinking probably around $250 a month, will go into the DAO. We haven't exactly decided how we're going to distribute that yet. We want to be able to airdrop you guys tokens for being in the DAO and participating. So that's one thing we're considering. If not, we can literally just add the funds to the DAO and not give them any DAO shares. And then that money is just distributed amongst all the DAO holders. So that's another way to do it.
Right.
If you're afraid that you're not going to have enough voting power, don't worry. There is a way to rage quit, and that's what it's called on the app. So there's a voting period of 5 days, and that's when you can vote on proposals to manage funds, to pay people to create things, basically to do whatever you want with the crypto in the MDAO. So anyone in the DAO can make a proposal, and then somebody else can sponsor it. Once it's sponsored, then there's that 5-day voting period, like I said.
Yeah.
So after those 5 days, if the vote passes, there's a grace period of 2 days. So you'll have 2 days to take out your DAO shares and get refunded your money, whatever the proportion that is to the DAO's funds. Like say you disagree with the investment and you really don't want to do it, you can take your funds out in those 2 days. And then if you want to join back up later, you can. So that's a good little thing there. No, what did I miss? There's minions. There's these things called minions and boosts, which I'm hoping Ben Goldberg will be figuring out for us. You do some more research on them. We have a couple that aren't quite set up but deployed. I think this is going to be the best way to do it. It's basically an automated bot that will invest for you with proposals, so that way you don't have to trust somebody to do it. The first few we might have to do manually. If you guys don't trust us to do it, just vote no. I guess it's that simple. But yeah, if we don't use minions or boosts, then basically what you would have to do is whoever creates a proposal, they say, hey, give me $200, I'm going to swap it for Bitcoin and then give it back. So yeah, there's a degree of trust there without any boosts. That's why we're trying to figure out how to use those in the DAO right now. Also, my roommate Ian is joining the DAO. We might be funding his little venture. He made some NFTs on Polygon, so he will probably make a proposal for that. So keep an eye out for it, and we can discuss it at an upcoming meeting whether we want to fund that project or not. We also have to whitelist every token you want in the DAO. So if there's a token you like and you think you're going to make a proposal on it, it's not already in the DAO, you have to make a proposal to whitelist that token.
Which is actually really easy.
Actually, we should show.
You go to the proposal. I'm not signed in, so I can't. You go to the proposals tab, which is right here, and there's a button called Create Proposal, and then it says whitelist token, and then you'll submit a proposal. Let's see if there's any.
What you have to do,
whitelist
you can't
replica.
just type in the token. You'll have to copy the address of the token, which you can find on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah.
If you know where to go for that, it's right by the name, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty easy to find, but make sure you go to the Polygon address because it's on Polygon. Don't use the Ethereum address.
Well, it's the same.
If you can show them.
It's the same. It's the same, right?
Is it?
No, it's different.
I'm pretty sure it's different.
On God.
Go to more.
Can we potentially do a group
Next
bridge
time.
at a meeting, like at a later meeting?
Yeah,
People
we
actually
should do that next week.
Yeah, I'm down. Also, can you add like different collectibles to our fund or no?
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
Dow can take 721s right now. Unfortunately, Ian made his 1155s. So we're waiting for a Dow House update. But there's a good chance that we might just end up recreating the collection because FTX is launching an NFT platform, and they are. This is kind of low key. It's not finalized yet, but they've offered to list our collection on like the front page of their NFT site. Yeah, exactly. So Ian's requesting like less than $200 in exchange for one of each of the NFTs. And if they do get that FTX listing, they could be pretty lucrative. But it's up to you guys. That's the cool thing about the DAO.
Yeah, Wally's not here. I think it's a no-brainer to do it if FTX lists it.
Yeah.
If not, I think we need some type of like financial stake in the first sales, right? So if he only sells 5 to 10 of them, we should get it. So like, we get the first 5 sales,
Right.
we keep our investment, and then we fund it, and he gets profits from there, something like that.
Yeah. So, but I'd really love to pass okay, so we see these minions here. So this one will send like the funds dedicated to investing. That way it's not like one of us has to just like hold the investment in our wallet. The minion will delegate all of that. And then we'll also send money to this fund, which is meant to do ventures. So if we could have a successful venture in the first, couple months of the MDAO, that would be pretty cool. I think it would definitely be a good resume builder. And to be a part of that is, it's a cool opportunity. So keep that in mind going forward. So are there any questions about the DAO or anyone who wants to get in on the group bridge? All right, very cool. So all of you are in the group me, yes? Please raise your hand, scream and shout if you're not in the group me. You're not in the group me. Whoever's next to you, they can add you. Or Ben can.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
How do the group posts work on the DAO?
Yeah.
Like, you basically give like a pitch of like why you think that's a good investment, or it's
Yeah, exactly. So
What we're planning on doing, it's pretty short. The proposals, you'll just put in like a title, and then you can put in a short description. There's also like a chat feature that you can go to, like
Yeah.
chat about it within there. What I want to do is have a second meeting to talk about DAO proposals.
Okay, so I will send out the address. I created like a blank wallet to do this bridge, and I'll send out the address to that later tonight. So we all have 100 voting shares right now, but most of us will be bumping up to 1,000, which is the max. So keep that in mind. If you want to actually make a difference in the DAO, you're going to need to have voting shares that can make a difference. So yeah, that being said, like the bridge fee will be covered by the sponsor money. So I just want to get as much in as possible, especially since gas fees are stupid. It's like,
you said 1,000 shares would be around $8,000.
yeah, around $1,800 right now. Yeah.
And when do you think we're gonna do a green bridge?
So we started collecting funds 2 weeks ago, and then like I'll probably get a couple more tonight, and then were you talking about something like doing the?
Let's get a bridge before next meeting. We can
I'll
do
say,
that, right?
or we can, I just think there's enough people that it's useful, and
Yeah.
if we have some funding money, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll help everyone actually see the amount of cost.
Yeah, Benziga was having technical troubles sending the ones to me, so I'm waiting on them. But I might just pay it out of pocket for now.
And it's all-
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we have a little bit of time, so we can just maybe fit in the next meeting, and like have it be a little bit like discussion based at the end, and if anyone has problems, questions about proposals.
No, definitely. So we'll definitely have a section like the last 10 minutes of every meeting where we can soft poll the group to see if a proposal is worth submitting, if there's even enough interest that there's a chance it passes. But yeah, there's like so much cool shit that we can do with this DAO, okay? And like really the possibilities are endless. So I'd love it if you guys could get excited about it, come up with proposal ideas, come up with investment ideas. It's really up to you guys. We did this for everyone, for the group. It's a great learning experience, great hands-on, and by the end of the semester, we'll probably be in the most successful investment fund at the university.
We should have at least 10,000 in by the end of the year. The past president of Wolverine Blockchain said he'd give us an ETH for the fund. It's going to be obviously free shares.
Davis Dawson is an ETH for barely 80 shares, so that's going to be free money.
It's going to be loot.
Well, oh yeah, he'll request some loot for it, but
So yeah, and also if you do want to put more money in, feel free. You just can't get voting shares, so you can get loot, which is the exact same thing, but you can't vote with it. So it tells you all the monetary value just without the extra voting share.
Yeah, we have the term at 8. We need to get started.
yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us go over. All right, everyone, feel free to hit me up if you have any